G'day guys, Ben Zachariah here from drive.com.au and join me as we check out the first all-new Triton in almost 2 decades. Now this is the first all-new Triton since 2005. Initially buyers are going to be able to get it in the Extra Cab, which Mitsubishi calls Club Cab, or Dual Cab. Now the base model comes in 2-wheel drive. That's priced from just under $44,000 plus on-road costs. But today we're driving the GSR, the current top-of-the-line model, which starts at around $64,000 plus on-road costs. Let's check it out. There will be 4 variants to choose from initially: the GLX in both 2-wheel drive and optional 4-wheel drive, the GLX Plus, GLS, and finally this GSR. However, the company has said there will be more cab chassis models coming in late 2024. While all new generation Tritons come with 6-speed automatic transmissions, we did spy an early prototype with a manual gearbox, so we wouldn't entirely rule out the possibility of a manual coming on a future entry-level variant. From a design point of view, it's a lot subtler than it was, maybe a little bit more masculine. Personally, I like how it looks, but it's got a distinctive Mitsubishi front end. Now, under the bonnet, all models will come with a 2.4-litre twin-turbo diesel engine. Mitsubishi say it was derived from the old engine, but it's all new. Produces 150 kilowatts and 470 newton meters of torque. Most importantly, how does it drive? Before we get to that, it's worth mentioning that these are pre-production prototypes, and we are among the first journalists in the world to be invited to have an early drive. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to test them out on the open road, but Mitsubishi is clearly proud of its new product and gave us plenty of time to play with the new Triton on these sand dunes and drive it back-to-back against the outgoing model. Now, Mitsubishi says that the Triton has been tuned for Australian conditions. What that means is shock absorbers that are 10% longer and larger, so they can put up with more off-roading, bad Australian roads, more caravanning, whatever you want. First impressions, what is immediately obvious is just how much stiffer this chassis is. It almost reminds me of the previous generation Ranger. When that was launched, that had a much stiffer chassis and it made a huge difference, and this is no different. There's something like 60% more torsional rigidity in the chassis, and it makes a huge difference to both comfort and capability. Mitsubishi have aimed to offer a more premium ute than in previous generations. With cheaper Chinese utes entering the market, Mitsubishi wants to maintain its position as Australia's 3rd highest selling ute by offering a vehicle arguably as good as those from Toyota and Ford, but offering greater value to entice buyers across. It's a precarious tightrope the company is walking, but at this early stage, all signs suggest the Triton has got the balance right. This is the Triton GSR, the range-topping variant. It's priced from just under $64,000 plus on-road costs. That's about $10,000 cheaper than the range-topping Hilux GR Sport, which means there could be scope for another model to slot in above it, potentially with a Rally Art badge. Mitsubishi remains tight-lipped on whether it will offer a Triton Rally Art in the future, but company CEO Sean Westcott told Drive he didn't want to settle for, quote, just a sticker pack, end quote, alluding to a Triton with even more power. Having said that, performance doesn't seem to be something the new Triton is lacking. There is a lovely bank of torque from 1500 RPM right up to 27,500 RPMs. Now it redlines at 4,000 and it kind of runs out of puff in the top end. We haven't driven this on the road though, so we'll reserve judgment until then. This particular car is just running on highway tyres with lower pressures, and even so, all the electronics are just getting us through some really soft sand and kind of bending the laws of physics a little bit, to be honest. While this does have a slightly larger turning circle compared with the outgoing model, the steering rack is a lot quicker, and that means it's a lot more nimble, but it's not overly light. I'm not a huge fan of new cars with really light steering, and this is not one of them. While the exterior, powertrain and off-road capability are all a big step up from the outgoing ute, it's arguably the Triton's cabin which impresses most. Now ergonomically, this is a really nice place to be. There's plenty of space inside, the seating position is bang on, and for a pre-production vehicle, the quality of the interior is great. It's a really attractive cabin space, I think. You've got a 9-inch touch screen that looks great. You've got a digital instrument display between the 2 analog gauges. yeah, I dig it. This is just a prototype though, and an early snapshot of what we can look forward to in 2024. But I gotta say, what we've seen looks really promising. This is a pre-production vehicle and our time has been limited, mainly to June driving. We're going to get one back for some more road driving before delivery start in February 2024. What do you think? Is this enough to pull you away from a Toyota Hilux or a Ford Ranger? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video soon.